What's up, guys? This is Hank Saber, and this is Kramer, of course, giving you guys another deck profiles. This is a variant of Shaddolls that I like to call hand Shaddolls, and, well, let's get into the deck profile. Of course, this deck profile coming post-Cross Souls, so let's get into the choices I run. Now, again, this is kind of a more, I guess, I would like to call it a recreational build, a build that I will probably take to locals and test, but however, I probably will come up with a slightly more competitive deck profile in the near future. But this is what I kind of threw together just for the pure enjoyment of Saber Selection subscribers. So let's get into this. We run 3 copies of Mathematician just to bury our stuff, our best opening play, just being able to dump Squamatas and dump Falcos and dump Beasts and just gain that advantage early on in the duel. So again, you gotta run 3 of this. And then I run 2 copies of Effect Veiler, just really solid in the Necros matchup. I really base this build off what Jeff Jones said with Edward, I believe Lee, I don't know, Edward, his friend Eddie's deck profile with Effect Veiler. Basically, in the Necros matchup, if they're not Trishuling you, they're not winning really. So, also to stop Bryonic from bouncing back your constructs and your windows. So, just keep that in mind. Veiler is really good in most matchups that this deck is kind of lackluster against, I guess you could say. So, 2 Veiler. Then I run into the hands. I run 2 copies of Fire Hand and 2 copies of Ice Hand. Now, we can obviously justify why we run these cards. Not only is it a great way to, I guess you could say, just get out of hard situations, but also you can kind of like, you know, make your way through the duel and control what fusions you want to make throughout the duel. So if you can, you want to make Anatolis, whatever you say it, you can definitely use Fire Hand. But even if you have a Fire Hand, you can only use Ice Hand. But if you have a Fire Hand, you can, you know, attack into the monster, destroy it, and then summon the Ice Hand, and then fusion from there with your El Shaddoll fusion, your Shaddoll fusion. So just again, I like running 2 of each. If I had a side deck for you guys today, which I don't, I would maybe side a 3rd Fire Hand. So these are the hands we're running, and then I do run the 1 Pero Cerberus. Just a solid card out to Jin, so we just run those. So that's for that, and I actually run the 1 BLS. The funny story with BLS, I ordered an Ulti Construct, and I actually got this for free. So it's 3 Kings Gaming. If you guys go check them out, they gave me this and a golden ring for free. So go check them out. And then that's it for the non-Shaddolls. For the Shaddolls, really quickly, I run 3 Falco. Again, what Jeff Jones said, if you know, against the Necros matchup, they have a really hard time dealing with more than one things on the board, so we want to make sure we're setting our Squamatas and, you know, try to resolve them as many times as possible. So the 3 Falco, pretty relevant. And then we run the 3 Upstart Goblin in the form of Shaddoll Squamata, just so good for deck thinning early on. And of course, pretty strong out to Jin, but just setting it, flipping it, and popping a monster. And so again, 3 Squamata. I only run 2 Beasts. I was playing 3 for the longest time, but I had to cut 1 just to, you know, make sure I had room for some other stuff. So 2 Beasts. I also run the 2 Dragon. I don't run MST. I just run Dragon, or just main Dragon. So Dragon's just like, again, your best way to, I guess you could say, just to pop back row whenever you want. Of course, with El Shaddoll fusion and Sinister Shadow games, being able to MST and your opponent's turn really good. So yeah, so 2 Dragon, and then the 1 Hedgehog. Just I don't really like Hedgehog. Hedgehog's my least favorite of all of them, but I kind of like it just because, you know, you can add a Shaddoll, but you don't really need it as much anymore in this list as much. So I just run the 1 Shaddoll Hedgehog. So that's that, and then that's it for the monsters. Pretty hefty monster lineup, of course. With Shaddolls, you don't. You know, you don't not run a lot of monsters. You're gonna run a lot of monsters for your fusions. So I do run the 2 copies of Shaddoll Fusion. If you go into a more competitive event, you know that 2 is better than 3, because not a lot of competitive decks like Necros, like Cleaforts, they don't really special from the extra decks. So I mean, and if maybe going to locals, maybe the 3 Shaddoll Fusion would be a lot better than 2. But I really think if you're kind of fitting this deck around the meta, I think 2 is perfect. And then I run the 3 El Shaddoll because El Shaddoll is the best one, and being able to recycle it with your fusions is so good. And then And then I run one copy of Shaddoll Fusion. Shaddoll Fusion is actually kind of my favorite one because Shaddoll Fusion, I like being able to make different attributes and just really cool being an equip and all. I don't know, it just always was one of my favorite ones. So that's that. And then I run 2 copies of Mass Change Check, and I'm only running 1 Dark Law in the extra deck, but I feel like if you want to get into it as fast as possible, you just definitely want to run 2 just to open it, quicker. And then I run War. War's too good in Shaddolls, any dark deck really. So War. And then I run the 1 Raigeki and the 2 Dark Hole. Like Jeff Jones said again, you have a hard time if you're playing Necros. You're having a hard time dealing with multiple, Dark Holes and Raigekis. You can't just keep on relieving like many cards on the field, because as soon as they find out you're playing Necros, Shaddolls, they kind of feel like it's okay to leave their stuff on the field because they don't have the threat of being trished. But if you have the Dark Holes in the Raigeki, you're still threatening to destroy their boards, and they can't keep on losing multiple cards at a time. So it's really hard for them to keep on losing those resources. So that's what I play for the spells. And then for the traps, pretty basic. 2 Sinister Shadow Games, my favorite, obviously my favorite trap. It's just so good being able to resolve dragons, resolve Falcos on your opponent's turn, resolve beasts when you need to draw a card, and sometimes you get extra empty hands. So 2 games and then 1 core. Core is alright. I really like core. Just sending it with Squamata just to get back your fusions, obviously. So for someone that just started playing the deck like myself, I'm really starting to appreciate the certain combos you can do with core in games. So, and then something I kind of copied off Jamie the Kid, just 3 copies of Call of the Haunted. I really like Call of the Haunted because it's really kind of almost underrated, being able to just special back your beast, which you're sending so many. You're sending them so early in the duel. You can just get a 22 beat stick for free, and it's just so good being able to just bring back stuff from your graveyard, like your Squamatas that you never really think about reborning, but you can just Call the Haunted them back and use them as fodder, and probably try to make Winda as fast as possible. So that's the trap lineup. Again, a more competitive list, I would probably run Mistakes. I only own 1 copy of Mistake right now, so I wanted to build the playset before I put them, tested them out. So there's that. And then for the extra deck, I'm gonna run the 3 Construct. You obviously have to run 3. I actually just ordered the 1 ulti because I felt like this is gonna be hitting the next ban list, so I didn't want to spend the money on 3 ultis. So the 3 Constructs and 2 Winda. I wanted to fit the 3rd. I think a lot of Shaddoll players want to fit the 3rd, but you don't really ever would make the 3rd. I don't know. I just would like to play 3. And then Shekinaga, again, I would like to play 3, but just not enough room. So that's just the bad thing about Shaddolls right now. There's so many options right now that you would like to run 3 of all of them, but you just can't. And then I run the 1 Water Fusion and the 1 Fire Fusion. Obviously, both of these are relevant. Running the hands, you like them a lot more. So 1 Autonomous and 1 Grista. And then I just won the 1 Dark Law. I was running 2. But I wanted to fit the new Synchro in, so excuse me, but I just cut it down to 1. So that's that for the fusions. So we are running a hefty amount of fusions. I believe it's 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 fusions, and that leaves the space for the 4 Synchros. I run the 1 Goyo, the 1 Clear Wing, which I just got in the mail yesterday. This is an amazing card. The 1 Black Rose, and the 1 Leo, which is getting reprint really soon, which I'm really happy about. And then, of course, that leaves 1 more spot, and I'm running the 1 Evil Storm Exiton Knight, because we are running level 4s. We don't make it rank 4s like a Star Seraph version of the deck will, but I really like making Exiton. I feel like it's the best one. So whenever you can go make a rank 4, that's kind of you're in a bad spot. I feel like Exiton's always the best option, and plus you can also Shaddoll Fusion him into a Construct, which I think is really cool. So we run the 1 Exiton Knight. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this build. I really catered this deck towards making the newer stuff. I really like Grist. I feel like Grist is underused, and I also really like Anonymous. I think that's how you say it. So This is my first deck profile on Shaddolls. I'm still learning Shaddolls, how to play it. It's probably been my toy over the last, just a couple weeks, just testing and having fun with it, and just really enjoying what I'm playing. And hopefully, soon I'll be giving you guys a slightly more competitive list, maybe with Star Seraphs in it. Maybe we'll side the hands. But for now, this is Hank Saber. Just telling you guys to stick in there. I'm going to be giving you guys a lot more deck profiles. It might be like a week or so before I give you guys a Virtual Beast deck profile, but it should be up there pretty soon, so hopefully we can get that in there. So this is Hank Saber coming to you with another deck profile. If you haven't already subscribed, become a Saber Selectioner. Trying to get to that 1K subs. I'm only like 1/4 of the way there, so please drop the sub button and click the like button, and tell me what you want. Tell me what the deck profiles you want to see. Some road decks, some meta decks. I think I pretty much have them all right now, with the exception of Teleknights, which I don't really plan on making, but that's really it. So anyway, guys, probably coming up next, Virtual Beast and Infernoids and X Sabers. So this is Hank Saber coming to you from Saber Selections for the 3rd time. And say goodbye. Peace, guys. Peace.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell